Chapter 1. The Way Things Work. I worked at a big warehouse on the edge of town. I worked 6 days a week in that old gray building. It smelled like cardboard boxes and also like machine oil. The lamps made a loud noise that was easy to notice. Every shift I put on my orange vest and moved boxes. I was 31 years old, but I was not unhappy. I had a small apartment which was always cozy and clean. I had an old sofa that was actually very comfortable. My neighbor Rosa gave me soup when she cooked extra food. My life was okay, but I believed success was for others. I thought success was for people who were born differently. They had better friends and the confidence I did not have. I started a web design course at 24, but I quit. At 27, I wrote a business idea on one single page. At 29, I tried to get a better job but failed. I believed that good things were not for people like me. I looked at happy people on my phone who created things. I thought they were made of better material than me. Chapter 2. The Man at Table 7. There was a small cafe with wooden walls near the warehouse. It always smelled like sweet cinnamon and also like strong coffee. I went there every Saturday morning to drink my coffee. One day, I sat down near an old man with big hands. He was 60, and he knew what real physical work felt like. He was reading on an old tablet and squinting his eyes. We talked about simple things like the weather and the coffee. Then he asked me about the work I did every day. I told him that I worked at the warehouse 6 days. He said that he owned a small company making furniture. They sell items to people all over the whole country now. I asked how much time it took to build that business. The man looked at the ceiling for a few long seconds. He started in his garage when he was 44 years old. He used one old tool and watched videos on the internet. The first chair he made was ugly and also quite crooked. I asked him if that work was very hard for him. He said that hard is not the same thing as impossible. Most people give up because they think those words are same. Then he paid for his coffee and he walked away. Chapter 3. The Lie I Lived In. I walked home slowly while stepping on the wet leaves. I thought about the man and the words he said today. Hard is not the same thing as impossible for a man. I always thought those two words were exactly the same thing. When things were hard, I thought it was a sign to stop. I sat on a bench and asked when I decided I failed. I was just afraid of many small things and small fears. I was not afraid of work because I worked every day. I was afraid to fail while other people were watching me. But nobody was watching me, as I thought then. The man in the cafe made a bad chair and continued. I lived in a prison of my own thoughts for years. It was easier to say it is hard than to try. I failed because I stopped before I even started to work. Chapter 4. The First Chair. That evening, I opened my laptop and found my old notebook. I like to work with wood and my own 2 hands. My idea was to make and sell small wooden items online. I made a seller account on a website very quickly. Next Saturday, I bought tools and wood for $40. I worked on my balcony and my fingers were very cold. I made a wooden board in 3 hours on that balcony. It was not perfect because the edges were a bit crooked. I took a photo and put it on the internet. I did not expect anything, but someone bought it very soon. I made $18 and I felt very happy about it. It was like a small engine started running in my chest. I made more things because hard is not impossible anymore. Chapter 5. What I know now. 8 months have passed, and I still work at the warehouse. But now, I only work there 5 days each week. On the weekends, I make wooden things on my small balcony. I have sold 47 items to many different people so far. I earn enough money to pay for half of my rent. I am not rich, but I wake up with a goal. I never saw that man again, but his words changed me. Success is not a gift for only a few special people. It happens when you do not stop when things get hard. You do not need to be different to start your life. You just need to start doing the work right now.
Like this video if you love story. Write a comment and tell us what you think. We want to hear from you. See you soon. Bye-bye.